Thank you. So, my name is Charlie Wishman. I'm with the Iowa AFL-CIO. And just really briefly, AFL-CIO is a coalition of unions. So it's building trades unions, it's postal workers, it's public sector workers, it's folks who work in factories. So we represent a very, very diverse set of workers and the unions that they represent. So I've been thinking a lot lately, actually back to a moment. Sometimes you have a moment and it doesn't quite sink in until later, and then it's like, that was really a very telling thing. And I remember when the State Federation used to have, every Monday night, there was this hospitality for legislators, and we held it at the Machinist Hall over at 2001. And it wasn't like, the ABI type of functions, it was like beer and popcorn, right? So that, it wasn't a huge thing. But I remember, I saw a prominent state senator, no longer there, showed up, and I went up to this person and said, "Hey, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate you showing up tonight." And that person said to me, "I wouldn't miss Thug Night for the world." And I have no doubt that person meant that as a great, just a lighthearted joke, right? But when your friends can make jokes where they call you a thug, that's kind of telling about what the world thinks of labor, what the world thinks of blue-collar workers, white-collar workers, and the folks who represent them. And so, we aren't thugs, right? So, can you do me a favor, if you're a union member or a union retiree, or if you are a former union member, can you stand up, please? All right. Right? With this many thugs in the room, we should be scared for our lives, right? But no, right? These are
the new basket of horribles.
Right. But no, the thing is these folks are your neighbors. They're the folks who you go to church with. You know what? Yeah, we are the ones holding baseball bats. But it's not on a picket line, it's teaching kids to play softball and Little League. We're a part of the community. And so I've had a lot of people really ask, since the election, why did so many union members vote Republican? Because it is true, probably percentage-wise, in this last election, more than, and this isn't confined to one sector of organized labor at all. So why did so many of them vote Republican when they hadn't probably since maybe '84, or it's been a long time. And right, wrong, or indifferent, and maybe the new administration may go about it in profoundly bad ways if we look at what happened in Indiana and Carrier, but there are people that, the Republican Party spoke to issues such as trade and infrastructure, that the Democratic Party wasn't talking about. And it's just the truth. And I'm not saying individual candidates didn't talk about them, but as a whole, they were receiving a message that resonated with them. And so that's what they signed up for. They signed up for, I'm tired of getting our jobs shipped overseas, I'm tired of having our crumbling infrastructure, and that's what they signed up for. Unfortunately, they didn't realize that they signed up for a whole lot more than that, and a whole lot more things than they're probably anticipating. Let me just start with a little bit of what Melissa touched on, collective bargaining, and the question of, are we going to be hit over the heads with a sledgehammer, or be chiseled away at? Right now, we don't know, but I'll tell you, I read an article this morning where the representative from Americans for Prosperity, for those of you who don't know that is the Koch brothers group, is saying, well, here's what we want to see in a collective bargaining bill, which is the only thing that public employees should be able to negotiate about is wages. absolutely everything else off the table and just wages. So it's starting to sound like Wisconsin. Then he goes on to say, not only that, we need every single bargaining unit, to recertify every single year. So that means the union's going to have to hold elections every single year to stay afloat. And then they get into, is it the amount of people who are there voting versus, and anyway, what AFP is saying is we want Wisconsin. We want Wisconsin and Iowa. So, the senators and representatives right now are being, it's not like they're telling us exactly what they're going to do. And in the press, they say, we just want to make some tweaks and be reasonable. But the folks who fund them are saying, hit them over the head with a sledgehammer. And I think that's what we need to be prepared for. But in addition to that, I don't think that all of those union workers, maybe voted Republican, signed up for the business community's agenda on a lot of other things, like, say, workers' compensation. Workers' comp is not, we don't even have a great system here in Iowa, but what we do have is very likely to be under attack as well. You get hurt on the job. We could even go as far as like Texas, and where it would be optional. We can take a look at unemployment insurance, which we actually do have a pretty good unemployment program here in Iowa, and I know that there's been talk about let's go after unemployment. Let's see. Oh well, hey, we've also in the Iowa Senate. We have completely eliminated the committee that oversees economic development. So, so now Economic Development Authority can just hand out money to what we consider non-skilled, non-union labor to build, fertilizer plants all over the place. And that's their vision for rural Iowa. Hog lots and fertilizer plants. And we're looking at, dues deduction. Where if somebody wants to just pay the union through taking it out of their check, they want to get rid of that too. And that could impact some of our partners like United Way, for example, if you're getting rid of all of the ability to deduct things from your paycheck. But they don't care about what United Way does. It's about how do you hit us over the head with the sledgehammer. One thing I know that they are definitely interested in doing away with is you've had in several counties, Johnson County, Polk County, Lynn County, Wapello County, and Lee is starting it. And you've seen around the state people frustrated that there hasn't been a minimum wage increase. And so counties have taken it upon themselves at the urging of activists in the religious community, in the labor community. There's been really great coalitions built around these things as well. And they would like to, the governor said, well, we need to have one minimum wage. And he's not talking about, let's all raise it to the same level. It's let's bring everybody back down to $7.25, or maybe we'll, raise it to $7.26. I don't know, but I'm not expecting a big increase if there is one passed. And if they do, they're going to be lowering the wages by taking away, what they would really like to do is take away the ability of counties to be able to, or counties or cities or whatever, local governments, to be able to pass ordinances around things like, and for us, we're talking about minimum wage, but it could be a lot of different issues as well that are affected by that. So, I could sit here and go on and on about all the ways that workers are going to be under attack, but I'll leave on this note. I think that, for those of us after, a few days after the election, and for a while it's like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But I'm really encouraged when we come to things like this, and I see the amount of people that are here, and you talk to people, and people don't want to lay down, and people don't want to just take it, and people are willing to fight. And you've seen that through leadership like Connie's and the folks up here, you've seen coalitions start to build where we've been complacent before, where we shouldn't have been, because we had the goalie. You know, we are doing things, I think, right now, that in the long term, if we do them right and are diligent, are gonna put us in the place to have a better Iowa at some point. There's gonna be some tough times, and I don't think anybody here is here to sugarcoat that. But I think in the long run, if we're all working together, we definitely can put ourselves in a place in the future to make this the Iowa that we all think and know that it can. So with that, I'm finished, but I don't know if you...
So if you have questions,